Hello everyone. It is a beautiful day and I'm going to get back onto the boat trailer. I am going to do the rest of the frame. I'm also going to go ahead and take the roller bunks off and the wooden bunk mounts off. So join me. So let's see what size these are. Smaller than 13/16. All right. We'll try 3/4. Smaller than 3/4. Try 11/16. 11/16. All right. Now I gotta figure out what size those are. Those look like 5/8. There, 5/8. Excellent. What did I do? Where did it go? There it is. Alright, so here's that roller mount. And it's in really good shape. It's galvanized, so the only rest you see is from the trailer itself. But I'll get this cleaned up and shot with primer, and we'll put it back on there. But I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of them off as well. And I'm going to guess that none of the hardware is going to be the same size as these two that I just took off. So as I recall, when I was 12 or 13 years old, I helped my grandpa repaint this trailer yellow. And that was either in 1983, well actually 12. I turned 12 in September of 83, so could have been 83. Might have been 11 maybe. Or 84. I don't think it was 85, but it was either 1983 or 1984. So Yeah, the paint is long overdue. So I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, I don't know how much of the last thing I talked about actually made it to video because my GoPro locked up. But anyway, this is the roller bunk mount that I just removed from the trailer, and it's galvanized. It's in pretty decent shape. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. Alrighty, that's way better than it was. And we'll shoot that with some primer and get it ready. And then what I will do is I will clean that up and shoot it with primer. Now, one thing, I don't know if you can see it. One of the drawbacks to doing these outdoors is you get sap from the trees on your trailer or whatever you're working on. So I gotta wipe that down before I shoot it with primer. That way the primer stays. Oh well. Get all that stripped off. We'll wait for the water to dry and then we'll shoot it with primer. Meanwhile, take pictures of everything, that way you don't have to try to remember where everything goes back. It's got a ridge of rust on it. Let's see here. Just so happens my 5/8 wrench was on the top, but I don't know if I can get to it. Yeah, might be able to. Maybe just enough. Just enough. Alright, so I got the last two roller mounts off, and now I'm going to tackle the last two bunk mounts. And I couldn't have them on those jack stands because, well, obvious reasons. So I have set the trailer on those jack stands. Okay, I got the rest of the bunk mounts off of the trailer. I'm going to go clean those up. That's going to be much like cleaning the roller mounts, so I'm not even going to shoot video. I got all of the bunk hardware and roller hardware cleaned up, so I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some primer. So I wish I'd have thought about this before I started priming them, but that's okay. Hanging them up, I don't have to bend over and hurt my back. Alright, hold your breath because the wind's blowing this way. While those are drying, I'm going to start stripping the rest of the trailer. Alright, well that's the sides, the top side, and the sides I can get to with that big wire wheel. Now I gotta get in there as best I can to get the rest of that out. That's gonna take the handheld drill. Now I know this is not gonna be perfect. I don't intend for it to be perfect. I'm just gonna knock off all the loose stuff and get it as good as I can. The channel in the back here is a bit deeper than the channel on the sides, so I'm going to try to get to it with this cup. Hopefully I can get in there. If not, that's the way it is. Alright, now that I've got the top stripped, it's time to flip it over, do the bottom. And then we'll paint the bottom, and then we'll flip it back over. It's a lot lighter without the tires on it. Damn it. It's alright, we'll clean it up. Fix the paint. Oh, that'll work. Not exactly how I planned it, but that'll work. Alright, so I might hit that cup real quick. It ain't looking too bad. I can't get all the way up to the front of the springs because of shackles there. Well, that's the not exactly the shackle end, but anyway, I will get this shot with primer. Well, little did I know that that was still dripping water. Oh well. give that 15 or 20 minutes. We'll come back to it. Okay, so I got the trailer flipped back over and was overflown by 4 Black Hawk helicopters twice. So I don't know what they're doing, but they're out doing something. Anyway, I'm gonna paint up the rest of it. Tell you what, this wind has got something to be desired. With it being so darn windy, you got to get the can closer to the work, and then you got to move quick. So there's lots of runs, which is fine. Problem is, you don't get the coverage. All right, well, it's primered. So I'm going to go ahead and close the video here. I've still got my tools to pick up and clean up and whatnot, but anyway, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't, please do subscribe. I'm working on 1,000 subscribers as an initial goal, but with that, I will see you later.